We've been saying to you for a while, have you been listening to us for a while? That you can't stop thinking about something, because the law of attraction, which is the quintessential momentum bringer, law of attraction will keep it coming, whatever's active in your vibration. So it's not an easy thing to switch subjects or to switch momentums, because there is a law of momentum. You know that when something gets rolling, it really gets rolling. Esther remembers as a teenager climbing up on a high hill in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains where they were living. She and a friend, they just hiked and hiked and hiked and hiked and hiked and hiked and hiked, and they were standing on top of the mountain. There was a big boulder almost as tall as they were there, and they started speculating about the fun of pushing it. Wonder if we can. And they could. It was precariously perched there, and the two of them put all of their strength behind it, and that thing took off. It rolled and rolled and rolled and bounced right across the highway. Don't tell anyone. Esther's still not sure if she killed anyone. It didn't hit anyone, but there was no stopping it once it took off. They were shocked at the power of what they had dislodged. Now, it's logical, some big mass that has a certain amount of weight, and then there is the hill and the gravity and the inertia. In other words, you accept these laws. But we want you to understand that there is the same inertia, the same sort of momentum happens in this vibrational world that we are all a part of. And when you think a thought, that thought at the 17-second point begins gaining momentum. Once another 17 seconds has passed, the momentum has dramatically increased. And another 17 seconds, the momentum has dramatically increased again. And once you cross the 68-second mark, that boulder is rolling down the hill across the highway. In other words, there's enough momentum that you are now, if you are tuned to look for it in the vibrational sense, you can feel the momentum of it. So everything that we'll be talking about here today is about law of attraction. There's no exclusion in this attraction-based universe. You are the presenter, the projector, the emitter of a signal that is being answered constantly by law of attraction. But you are the controller of the power of the emitting of the signal. And your focus is what causes the momentum of it. So if you're thinking about what you want, I want it, but, I want it, but, I want it, but, I want it, but, there's like a vibrational tug of war going on where there's not much momentum going. But if you want it, I want it because, I want it because, I like it because, I enjoy it because, I'm eager about it because, and you're doing that for as little as 68 seconds, you're getting momentum going. And actualization will demonstrate itself to you. The first form of it will come in the form of emotion to you. You will feel the energy moving. That's what emotion is. It's your indication of this energy in motion. If you want it, but, it doesn't work, but, it doesn't work, but, it doesn't work, but. I've never known anyone that got, it doesn't work, but, it doesn't work, but. It doesn't work for me, but, it hasn't worked for anyone very well, but. I want it, but. You get that momentum going. And what's happening in your life experience, the demonstrations, the rendezvous, the circumstances and events, everything that you call how life is treating me is about that balance of energy within you. Are you leaning in the direction of what you are wanting, or are you leaning in the direction of what you don't want? And if you are like so many humans, you're leaning in both directions at once, which means you've got a lot of muddy water going on, which means you've got a lot of absence of clarity going on, which means you want it, but, and you're not moving in the direction of things really wanted or things really unwanted, but you're not the deliberate creator of your own experience. You are the creator of your experience, just not the deliberate creator of your own experience. And it's such a simple thing to do something about that. So we've written a lot of books, and they're full of processes, and every process is about helping you to lean in the direction of what you do want, to release the resistance, which is the only thing that is preventing you from having what you want. Creative process is 3 steps. Step 1 is ask for it, which contrast helps you do all day, every day. Step 2 is source becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you've asked for. Another way of saying that is there is a vibrational reality that matches what you want that forms in the moment of your identifying that you want it. So when you ask, it is given, but you got to take step 3 in order to realize, to demonstrate, to live with what you're asking for. And that step 3 is what we are calling the state of allowing. It's the state of finding vibrational resonance with the desire that you have set into motion rather than with the absence of the desire. So often when you ask for something that you desire, you've asked for it from a place of not having it. There are a lot of things that you ask for from a place of having it. Your state of appreciation just keeps the things you want coming. You're constantly asking for more. You're asking for it every time you're focused upon it. Do you know that? Because the asking is by your attention to it. It's not the words. It's the attention to it that is the asking. So much of your asking you do from a place of allowing. Often you are in perfect vibrational resonance with what you're asking for. But if there are things that you want that have not been coming, then that is a sure sign that your desire is one frequency and your expectation is another. You're doing step 1, source is doing step 2, but you're not deliberately doing step 3. Oh, you're doing it. You are finding resonance with the absence of it. We want you to find resonance with the presence of it. And you can tell by the way you feel which you are doing. When you think of something that you want and you feel frightened about it, I want more money, but then you feel frightened because there isn't enough, you are finding resonance with the absence of it. When you're looking at someone in your family or a neighbor or someone that you don't know but you just know of, and you're feeling hatred toward them or anger toward them or disdain, you are finding vibrational resonance with something unwanted, and in the process preventing yourself from being in alignment with something wanted. In other words, you can't have it both ways. You can't be a vibrational match to the absence of what you want and the presence of what you want at the same time. So in this universe that is based upon attraction, it's all about inclusion. You're including in your vibrational projection everything that you're giving your attention to. And you could offer a much stronger, much more refined, much more beneficial vibration with just a little bit of attention to the subject and an understanding of how the laws of the universe work. So we've written these processes and we've talked to you about them, and many of you have been applying them. Esther has applied every one of them. She loves the processes. In the beginning it was pivoting. You know what you don't want, you know what you do want. When you find yourself talking about what you don't want, stop and say, hey, I know what I don't want. What is it I do want? And if you catch it in the early subtle stages, that is a very simple thing to do. But if you've been talking about what you don't want and 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 what you don't want, so law of attraction has given you feedback about what you don't want and what you don't want and what you don't want and what you don't want. Talking about what you do want in the evidence of what you don't want feels foolish to so many of you because you want to face reality. You don't want to tell fictional tales. And we say, yes, you do. You really do. You want to practice the vibrational frequency of wanted rather than practicing the vibrational reality of unwanted if you want your reality to shift from unwanted to wanted.